Bullseye.
Last night, Khabib Nurmagomedov was offered $2 million by none other than 50 Cent himself.
Send me location.
If he would come fight for 50 Cent in the Bellator promotion. And Khabib actually responded in the comments by saying,
just send me location. Send me location.
In our video yesterday, we investigated Khabib's post on how he will leave the UFC if his teammate Zubair Tukhugov is not reinstated. Last night, 50 Cent posted on his Twitter and Instagram. He said, I think it's wrong what the UFC is doing to Khabib. They didn't do the same thing to McGregor. I'll pay $2 million cash tonight if he will fight for me at Bellator. And in the caption, he said, I'll deal with Dana and your contract later. The UFC is not the only game in town. Zubair is welcome also. In the comments, Khabib commented, just send me location. 50 Cent commented back, I'm dead serious, Khabib. And then he said, I know who Khabib is, a man of principle, and the disrespect was overwhelming. McGregor is lucky he didn't ignore him, tapping out and keep going. Get the strap. Now, a couple questions probably come to people's minds out there. Number one, when the hell did 50 Cent get involved with the mixed martial arts world? Number two, is Khabib actually serious? Number three, is it even possible to get out of his contract? And if it isn't, would Khabib even care? And four, is Khabib some type of genius by really putting the pressure on the UFC with not only this post, but also posting a couple days ago to the WWE saying, WWE asked me to jump inside. What do you think, guys? So we're going to explore exactly what 50 Cent's involvement is with Bellator and in the mixed martial arts world. But first, what I think is going on here is that Khabib is really trying to leverage himself, leverage a stature that he's built up, and put the pressure on the UFC because he really wants to get his teammate, Zubair Tukhugov, reinstated for his original fight that was scheduled to go on at the end of this month against Artem Lobov. If you didn't watch my previous video or haven't been paying attention to what's happening, Zubair jumped in the ring after UFC 229. He got into a back and forth with Conor McGregor. At the post-fight press conference, Dana White said the two fighters that jumped in the ring will not fight in the UFC again. Khabib made a post saying, why would you do this? This is unfair. If McGregor and his team isn't punished, you shouldn't punish my team as well. And then he threatened to leave the UFC and break his contract. And now today, he's being offered money to the tune of $2 million to come fight in Bellator. Now, in yesterday's video, I said I think that Khabib and Zubair will return to the UFC. But now, I don't take him for the kind of guy that messes around. I think when he says, just send me location, I have to imagine he's serious. He doesn't really strike me as the kind of guy who's going to worry about a broken contract or how much money that might cost or anything else that might come along with it. It seems to me that he might be seriously considering leaving if the UFC doesn't reinstate Tukhugov. Now, if you're wondering where exactly 50 Cent comes into all this, 50 Cent recently at the end of September agreed to a partnership with Bellator. 50 Cent's going to pay the winner of the Bellator Welterweight Grand Prix $1 million. They also have partnerships for apparel lines with 50 Cent's Get the Strap clothing line. I love that name, by the way. Bellator is also promoting 50 Cent's champagne, Le Chemin de Roux, via in-cage signage and more for the promotion's events. Since the partnership was announced, 50 Cent's been very active on his social media pages, promoting being at the events and also promoting the events themselves. If you guys don't follow much about 50 Cent, 50 Cent is very, very good at staying active and engaged in what's currently going on in all different facets of the world. He's very good at leveraging current topics and people that are trending, getting himself involved with them and using it to stay in the general conversation. I feel like he uses a really good strategy on his social media page by contributing his thoughts to those topics as well for people. He reposts memes. He posts things about himself. He'll make fun of himself in some of the posts too. He's got a very interesting strategy that I don't really see many other celebrities out there using to drive engagement. 50 Cent was previously involved in a boxing promotion that went bankrupt back in 2015 called SMS Promotions. You might remember a time when 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather were brothers. They were enemies, brothers again, back to being enemies again, as they were involved in some business together in the boxing world. There was a time we saw 50 Cent getting together with someone at the peak of his powers in Floyd Mayweather. Recently, we've seen 50 Cent get together with upcoming rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, who's also from New York. During the Conor Khabib fight, 50 Cent tweeted out a few things. This is when you regret throwing a chair in Brooklyn. Yes, I think that's probably true. Tap, 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 get the strap. So you can kind of see this is the strategy he likes to do. And also, as he's newer to the fight world, this is probably his way of integrating himself into the community a little bit and getting his name out there even more. I think 50 Cent is a genius when it comes to marketing. He saw a situation right here with the Khabib versus Conor, with the Khabib versus the UFC, and he immediately jumped in there, and now the entire world of the mixed martial arts is going to be talking about this. They're going to know 50 Cent's involved with Bellator. They're going to know that Bellator has an event going on this weekend if they didn't know it already. And no matter what happens, even if Khabib says no and this doesn't come to be, this is great publicity for 50 Cent and for Bellator. Now, from reading the comments on my latest videos, it's clear that the majority of people out there are very heavy favored towards Khabib or Habib. As some people have told me, the K is silent. And I think this situation and the way Khabib has handled this with 50 Cent is only going to make people love him even more. Curious what you guys think out there about the situation. Do you think that he will leave? What do you think the UFC will do? And will it be a fast decision? Yesterday's video is up to about 2,700 comments, and I want to read a couple of the top comments right now from my man Willie Ingram right here. He says, I am an American and I am Christian. I am also 100% behind Khabib. McGregor is the catalyst of everything that went wrong on fight night. Dana White spoke too soon announcing any verdicts or punishments. If he is the man that I hope and thinks he is, he should rescind the hasty decisions he has made. I think he brings up a good point. I bet Dana White is regretting saying in the press conference that the two fighters will never fight in the UFC again. I'm sure in the future he will try not to make those haste decisions. Even though I think in the past he's done a pretty good job of saying, I'm not sure what will happen. But in the moment in time, he probably had his thoughts in a million different places and came out and answered the question in the way that he did. From Hero, if McGregor is a star, Khabib is now a superstar. I think most of us can agree that if Khabib wasn't a star before this fight, he is definitely a superstar now. I don't think he is a bigger name than Conor McGregor is, but if he keeps up this drama, I imagine he may get close. Mike Kruger, the way Dana looks at Conor and smiles as he treats Khabib like a piece of shit, he just has a very sinister smile as he looks over at his golden child. I hate Dana. It's him who needs investigation for allowing all this shit. Conor is just running his Irish mouth because Dana allows it. Remove Dana from the UFC and it would be a less corrupt place. That has been a comment I have read very much in the section of looking at the press conference, looking at Dana smiling, drinking, laughing with Conor McGregor as Conor McGregor insulted Khabib's religion, family, him, and so on. Other comments have said, Dana's in the fight game. This is how you sell fights. But it has been interesting to see how strong the public sentiment has been about this situation. Last comment right here. Dana White is a racist. He was actually laughing at what that bigot was saying. Conor is making that Dana White money. His whiskey is being advertised by Dana White. I don't agree with what they were both doing. I back Khabib. So like I said, this has been a very common comment that's going on that I've been reading, not only in my comment section, but in other YouTube comment section, on the forums as well, on Instagram as well too. And it really seems to me that Conor took a major hit in terms of reputation and perception amongst a lot of fight fans out there. So let me know what you guys think. I'll be keeping everybody updated and we'll see what happens next. I do have a video coming out Monday that I think people are really going to enjoy. So subscribe, stay tuned for that. Check out my other videos if you have not seen them yet. And let me know what you think about the new developments.